What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we're talking about a couple topics, actually. One, this really good game I had in the Fuso, one of my favorite Tier 6 ships in the entire game, one of my favorite battleships in the entire game. Blast, it's definitely a keeper if you haven't gotten to it. And if you have gotten to it, I hope you also enjoy it. I think it's an awesome ship. Second topic is, I've been playing a lot of high tiers recently. A lot of high tiers, ranked battles are out now. Clan battles just ended. And I've just been playing so many high tiers recently that I really haven't had the time to come back and play a lot of lower tiers. And with the recent campaigns and with the recent influx of new players through Steam and all this kind of stuff, this kind of making this perfect little storm of giving yourself a chance to come back and play some low tiers and have fun. And you kind of forget if you play high tiers too much. I mean, that's the goal of the game, right? You start at tier 1 and you work towards tier 10, and then once you have the tier 10, you play that ship, and that's what you're supposed to do. But if you've ever played a lot of high tiers, a lot of tier 10s, you know how infuriating those games can get. It's everything snowballs. It's so much harder to quote unquote carry a game, and one bad player at high tiers is going to be such a bigger impact to your team at, let's say, a low tier. A bad Yamato player is going to be much harder to carry than a quote-unquote a bad Fuso player, or vice versa, or whatever. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of come back and just play some lower tier ships, and I'm kind of asking, I'm kind of wondering what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below what your guys' go-to quote-unquote fun ship is. What is your ship to kind of mess around that you always enjoy playing? I always like playing the Fuso. Fuso's another one. I always enjoy playing the Fiji. I always enjoy playing the Błyskawica. I don't like to go to tier 2s, tier 3s, tier 4s. They're fun. I don't play too many of them. I've played so many in the past. I played a lot of Phoenix, played a lot of Izakaze, played a lot of that. I don't play too much of that. I tend to stick in the 6s and 7s if I want to kind of go quote-unquote low tier, showing that the Fuso is one of it. And this is probably the luckiest Leander player ever. I thought it was going to absolutely delete him, but I ended up getting 4 overpens, so I apologize to our destroyer. Now he's dead. But yeah, I'm kind of asking you, what's your guys' go-to fun ship? Because I'm interested. This is a really good time to play it. There's some new campaigns going on, so there's a lot of things to do in the game right now, and these mid tiers are pretty easy to kind of carry in and pretty easy to kind of have a big impact in. And one ship can really, have a massive impact. And the Fuso is a ship that can hit so hard and just hit battleships. I completely whiffed this shot somehow. Cruisers and destroyers, just with how much you can fire. So I'm really kind of interested in what you guys think. So right now we are playing Shards. This is actually a pretty fun game, and I never played like this, but I've been playing it more and more. I usually always go towards C, and it's always kind of fun to watch the meta of certain maps. Shards, it was, everyone kind of went A for a while, and then everyone kind of fought over B, and now everyone's kind of going C, as you can literally see. Besides our division and one ship, I think that just the guy that's behind us to the right, right here on the mini map, he ran into an island when he's all by himself. So that's always good to see from a team, from a battleship. The island came out of nowhere, but I've started to go A little bit more on this map. And I think A is better from the side we spawn. It's better from the north side. C is better from the south side, because what they have to end up doing is just like this Cleveland and the Graf Spey, which end up pulling away. As you can see, the Graf Spey is right here. As you can see right there, they have to kind of single file in, and from the north side you have to single file in through these gaps as well. So south side C is better, A side A is better, but these maps tend to be quote-unquote trap maps. There's a nice hit on that Colorado, or that Cleveland as well. They tend to be trap maps. So what people end up doing is they get into these maps and then they get stuck there. So if you ever do go to these maps and you are kind of winning the fight as we are, you have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. If you get stagnant, you're going to cost you. It's going to be too much time. It's just like on north, on the map north. If you ever go decap, you're just wasting so much time because it takes so long to get through it. On Okinawa, I believe it's either A or C. Whatever it was, the farthest north map. I think it's A, maybe C. I can't remember right now. Those maps are okay to go to, But the reason I always say never to go to those maps is because people get stuck there. They don't stop. They stop as soon as people. It's just habit, right? As soon as you see a target, everybody wants to turn to a side that's going to be semi away, but you can get all your guns on. So what does that do? It slows you down. So if you guys are ever going to these unfavorable maps, first of all, I just tend to avoid them because if you go there, people are just going to follow you and you're going to get stuck here. As you can see right now, if I was on the other side, I'd have so many more targets to shoot at. But since I'm right here, I only have this Cleveland. But as you can see, I haven't slowed down. So we're killing the Cleveland. We're continuing through. I think I slowed down just enough to cap it, but I need to keep going full speed. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to basically get my guns on the right side, post up to go through this channel, and then head straight towards B. I usually go B on this cap because then you can support A cap when people round out around this corner because they're heading from the south side, so they'll curl up here. If they do win that fight, they'll round out this way so you can shoot them. But then you can help support this side and get all those broadsides. So always be ready, always think about the next step. That's why I tend to not go to this cap, but I have more recently because I know I'm not going to stop. Basically, the only reason, if this would have been capped, I'd be going full speed and already heading towards B. So just be sure if you are going to any of these quote-unquote bad caps, as you could saw some guy on our team, I think he might have already be dead. No, he wasn't dead. Our Scharnhorst is saying any teams that go A on this cap tend to lose. Now, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, if you get stuck there, yes, it's going to be a massive problem. I was hoping to murder maybe that Furutaka on a nice little snipe shot from 24K, but I don't think I hit him. You just have to keep moving if you get to one of these caps. Again, though, neighbors, I would never go to A if I'm in a battleship. North, I would never go to D cap if I'm in a battleship. It's just too slow. Okinawa, same thing. Whatever the one I was talking about, either A or C. The one that's the farthest north, I would never go to if I was a battleship. It's just too slow. But just if you do have to end up going somewhere, if that's where you spawn and that's where it is, just keep moving. Just keep swimming. Just keep rolling. But that's a whole nother topic. I don't know why I got on that whole tangent. But back to the mid tiers. Right now, I do think tier 6 is a pretty solid matchmaking. It's been getting picked on a little bit ever since they changed kind of priority matchmaking for some of the lower tiers. This has been kind of a pretty tough tier. Lots of up tiering, lots of trouble getting into kind of, I guess, the 5 and 6 and 7. As we can see, we kind of have like the perfect a middle tier, right? There's some 7s, there's some 5s, there's some 6s. This is kind of I would say the perfect game right here. Now I have recently been getting a lot more, since there are so many Steam players and so many people playing the campaigns, that there's a lot of games where I think I had one game where it was all tier 6s, and that'd be something kind of cool to see if Wargaming will ever do a ±1. Now it is going to be a little tough because there is some imbalances for the higher tiers, but it would be kind of cool to see if Wargaming ever did let's say a ±1 matchmaking. It's been ±2 for so long. It used to be ±3, so will they ever do it? I don't know. I think it'd be kind of interesting. I have my thoughts on that. Maybe I'll do a video on what I think they should do on that later. This is kind of just a rambling video. I just kind of realized that, but it's mainly just I want to see what you guys enjoy playing. That's the main thing. I want to know what you guys have fun playing and kind of the fun ships that you kind of go back to. What are your mid tier keepers? What are your low tier keepers that you just love to kind of go and have fun? And you know, some people would use this is just your seal clubbing ship, Mijash. That's what it is. Well, sometimes you just need to just relax. You can only play serious high tier because you can't really just play lollygagging tier 10s, because then it's very salty up there. Everyone's very mad, everyone's very serious, and you kind of understand why. And that's a Furutaka that has no camo sealing broadside to a Fuso, so we all know how that ends. And you just need some time to relax and just have some fun. And for me, the Fuso is one of those ships, and the Perth is a fun one if you guys have it. There's lots of people getting premium ships from the crates, the Santa crates, which are amazing. And but yeah, tier 6, tier 7 for me is my vacation tier, if you will, because there's only so much high tier you can take. Now I enjoy high tier. High tier is one of my favorite ships. The Montana is one of my favorite ships. Gearing, I love it. the Zao, the Hindenburg, you know, the Z46, the Z52. Those are some of my favorite ships to play in this entire game. Favorite ships. But you can only take so much of that high tier. It's just a tough atmosphere to continue to play in, and you really need some kind of that balance, that you know that yin and yang of high tier, low tier. And as you can see right now, we went A, and I don't think any of the guys behind us helped out. I have 3 kills. We lost our 2 other guys, and luckily these guys have taken no damage. You would think it'd be like, all right, as somebody said, the same guy that was like, any team that goes A is a definite loser team, is saying we're doomed. It's all right, man. We're fine. We're fine. We got me and the Fuso. We got a lot of life. There's a major lack of camo on this team, but we're fine, right? We're fine. And one of the best part is this Cleveland ended up listening, which was amazing. The Iron Duke ended up getting pretty clutch, but we needed to kill this Cleveland. That Cleveland was going to cause a trouble for us. I could take the Baron, I could take the New York, the Nagato was going to be the problem, and the King George is going to be annoying. But I figured I could take both of these guys, survive this, with a little bit of help from New Mexico, although he was A-Hall New Mexico, so usually if it's A-Hall and no camo, you're not going, you can tell it's A-Hall because of the health pool. Usually, if it's that, you're not going to get much help, or you're going to assume you're not going to get much help. And actually, Clutch, our MVP Alba, as you can see him on the A line right now, is cutting that battleship so far away. So props to that guy. But yeah, I figured I could take both these guys, we'd be fine. And then my plan was take out these guys. What else do we have left? The Cleveland's right off to the left, so we'll push him. We'll kill the Baron. We'll kill the New York. I think the New Mexico's relatively close. And then maybe get a ram on one of the other guys and get a 3-for-1 trade. It'll be fine. So we take that guy. That Cleveland's off to our left. We need to make sure he doesn't cap B. If he caps B, it's probably a GG. But we'll focus on this guy, and then we'll push up. So we do have some support. But already, 4 Citadels, 108,000 damage, 3 kills, a devastating strike on that poor little Furitaka. He was so young. And we're just going to kind of just keep pushing. You just have to keep moving. You really do. I think a lot of people, it's just, we're all creatures of habit. So as soon as you see an enemy target, you want to get away from said target, and then you want to get all your guns on said target. So everyone turns most of the time to the right or the left, whatever side of the map they're on. And a nice little 25k salvo on that New York. So we will take that, another Citadel, the 5th one in the game. And there's the New Mexico. So I'm trying to think of the best trades. We can get that Cleveland. And he's gonna get the New York. All he has to do is just tap him once. So he got the New York. Bingo. That's awesome. And then, so I'm just gonna kind of try to bow tank this as much as I can. So right now I'm trying to think about the best trades possible. So we're gonna use just a couple of guns on this guy. I think we use a couple back turrets or something like that. But he held up. It was a great annoyance. We're gonna use just as little as possible. So we secured it with that. And right now, I'm looking for good trades. We have 5 to 3, 5 ships to their 3. Our Alba played great, and I'm going to try to do as much damage to this guy. I figured I would use guns on him and then try to ram the Nagato. That's my basic play right now. So we're going to try to do what we can. We have the guns. We have 3 guns on him right now. And the Nagato ended up being farther off to the left than I thought. I think he puts a solid little hit in me right here. Nagato's guns are just massive, and so he's farther away, so I'm trying to figure out what the best plan is. And I figured out that if I go to my left, then I can get the guns on my right, go left, and then potentially set up for the ram. So you want to get those trades. Dying in this game is not a bad thing. It's all about what you can get before you die. So he's just full speed, right, taking out me. It's not a bad trade for him. Normally what you want to do is you want to take out, you know, potentially their biggest weapon. He is, so we send out a nice little horn for him. And so I figured he's going to go full speed into ram. So I'm not going to waste any shots on him. So I'm going to put as much damage as possible into the King George, because putting any shots into him is just a waste. So, boom, there's the Kraken. The King George is going to push in. So, this is actually a little tough right now. We have a King George, we have a New Mexico that's relatively low, and they have 2 pretty high life pretty high life battleships right here, and I was a little worried. I'll be honest with you. I was a little worried. Now we have a massive point advantage, but our New Mexico's going down right now, and it's an Iron Duke versus 2 Tier 7 battleships. We have a Tier 5 battleship that's been shooting HE. He rammed into an island. I don't think he has camo on. He doesn't have camo on, and I wasn't sure what to expect here. So he ended up getting a good little shot on the King George, and he's just gonna keep pushing forward. I told our Cleveland, so our Cleveland is listening, which is amazing. He was gonna push full speed into these guys, and would have just been a free kill. The Cleveland actually pushed away. So my thought process right now is to have both of our guys, both the Alba and the Cleveland, just run away. We have a big point. Even if our Iron Duke dies, he can't do anything. He ends up putting a massive hit into the King George, which was awesome. And he's going to take that lead. So I figured they would both kill him off. And I call him Duke get the double. He put like a 20-some-K salvo into him. And I didn't even want our Alba to shoot. I just wanted them to basically run. It would have been impossible for them to win. Because there's so many situations where people just... I don't know if they want to try to be the hero too much. But they don't want the free win. And so like if you're shooting, if you don't need to shoot, there's no reason to. You know, if I'm a Nagato and I see a cruiser shoot that's far away at low life, I'm gonna use my entire salvo. So the Iron Duke is going to push in. I think he goes for the ram right here. Are we close enough to get the ram? I think he tried to avoid, or he tried to turn in just enough, but the Nagato can't do too much. He's going just forward, and a boom, 166,000 damage, crack-a-lackin', devastating strike. Just an overall fun game and a fun ship. But yeah, my main thing is, other than the Fuso just being amazing, what's your guys' go-to fun ship? I'm really interested. Let me know in the comments below. If you're having some bad games and you just want to have some fun, what's your go-to ship? Let me know. I'm just interested. I'm interested in if there's any kind of pattern, if people are loving the same ships that I am, and if people love, playing the same kind of ships or whatever, same tiers. But overall, Fuso's amazing. Hope you guys are keeping it. It's an awesome ship, and just wanted to show you that video and kind of to start a little discussion. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.